Hey guys, we're going to go over the material from class 3 last night. Okay, we really focused on Steve rolls primarily, the front part of it and the complete back part of it. So I can see my wrist, right? My pinky side of my hand is right next to the center point. And if you want, you can play with having your hand on the center point. Experiment between these two grips and see which one works best for you. Okay, so I'm holding the staff up above my head. My arm is at a nice little curve, right? I can see the inside of my wrist, and I'm going to turn toward the right side. I'm holding it in my right hand. I'm going to turn the staff toward the right, and I'm going to open my hand. Okay. Center point is going to glide down the outside of my arm, and then if I bend over a little bit, expose the back of my neck, I can usually get it around the back of my neck. But some tips are keeping the arm in front of your body and not straightening it and moving it out to the side. Okay, really try to keep all that action in front. Okay, if the center point goes inside, you might want to grab onto the center point and then release the staff. Okay. With this movement, we were talking about for the second side, waiting until the staff is below the elbow to raise the arm up. Okay? Do it a few times. Making space, and raising my arm up. As you notice, my hands, my arms stay in front of my body. And if you can't keep it in front of your body, then you'll have to turn with it so that you can keep your hands and your arms in front of your body, right? So if it's going a little wildly, it's going behind me, I have to turn to try to save it, right? So that can remedy if you end up moving your arm back. Start moving your body with it to keep everything in front, okay? And again, try it on the other side. Above the head, you're looking at the inside of your wrist. I'm turning to the left in my left hand. To the left, fully releasing the staff. You don't have to throw it down your arm or give it too much momentum at all. Because you're high, your hand is high, gravity will take the staff right down your arm, okay? We also played with the front side, right? I have the staff in my left hand right now, okay? Center point, I can see the center point. My thumb is even touching the center point. I've got it off to my side a little bit, right? I'm going to release the staff over the fleshy part of my thumb. Thumb is over the staff. And I'm going to keep my arm there. I'm also turned looking at the center point, right? I'm going to watch it roll down. I'm going to watch it move to the other side of me. Let me do it for you guys from here. I'm watching the staff, and my arm stays a little stuck to me. My second arm, it's right here to kind of break the fall of the staff, or to try to soften it on the second side, so that it rolls down kind of from my chest down to my arm, and then I can raise my hand up. Let me do that a couple more times for you guys to watch. See how the second side is just like open in here, waiting for the staff to be placed on, and then back up. Okay? And then up. Let's do it from this side. Again, center point, thumb is pointing to the center point. And I'm turning my torso. This is going to help us with a lot of moves in the future as well. Wow. Just turn. We want to think about this happening kind of horizontally. It's not going to stay horizontal forever. It'll move around a little bit, but that's okay. And I'll just show you the complete Steve so that we can see how they link together. Right? That's the complete Steve roll. In the beginning, we also talked about conveyor belts and just the practicing one direction. If we wanted to practice one direction, we go elbow, hand, hand, elbow, hand, hand, and then we throw it to that elbow. Okay? So, watch that again. You're throwing that center point on top of the elbow. Okay? And then I briefly touched on it at the end of class, but try this out in your own practice time so that we gain a lot more sensitivity to the center point. I have the staff kind of on my front wall plane. I'm just going to stick my shoulder in a little bit. See the center point? It's behind my shoulder. Now if I just leave it there, well, it's going to move up anyway, right? It's balanced on the center point. The center point is on my shoulder. But if I move it back, it'll do that. And of course, if your head's not in the way, it'll just go away. So you want to actually put your chin over it right there, okay? Now from here, if I drive my shoulder back, I could catch the staff on the other side, okay? And the center point's still a little behind me. And you can just play with this. Again, I'm fluid. I'm pretty fluid in my torso, my chest, right? I'm not just trying to stay straight and tense. I'm a little loose. Driving my shoulder back and keeping this space open right here to close in on it. This can also be done vertically. Instead of bringing my shoulder back, I bring my shoulder up. And then the second side kind of scoops and digs to soften the blow of its landing. I just dig, and I keep my chin ready, right? So go ahead and play with this, and start gently, obviously, because if you're using a big, heavy, sturdy staff, then it's at a vulnerable area of our body, which is our throats, right? But we can play with this very gently. And we could also play with the staff inside. The center point is inside. So instead of just having it on my front wall plane, I'm actually just gonna bring the center point out past my shoulder. So shorter end of the staff is behind me. I have this long end of the staff out. And then we can play with the little back arch, shooting the staff around the front of our neck, right? And bringing our arm up to break it, right? So that when we're practicing our Steve rolls, and it ends up in front of us anyway, we can just kind of, do something else with it, right? Okay? If you have any questions about any of that, hit me up. I'm available. And I'm sorry if this video is choppy. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but hopefully everything is still clear. Great job last night. Happy practicing, and I will see you guys next week for our 4th class. Okay, take care. And hopefully I'll see you guys this weekend at the Flow Show or tonight at Flow Jam.